Good morning, Facebook family and YouTube subscribers. Today is the 12th. I think it's the 12th. I can't really tell. Yeah, it is Wednesday the 12th of March 2014. This year is starting to fly by already. Just got through eating breakfast, feeding the dogs. Well, the food has been out for them all day. They were busy trying to eat my food. Now that my food is gone, they're over there enjoying their breakfast. I want to recently we moved into the East Atlanta area, which is located near South Dekalb County. If you're familiar with Atlanta, South Dekalb is a predominantly black area of the county. Um, we're we're not in the city limits of Atlanta, I don't think. Are we? No, because I think the Cab County Police come over here. We used to live in Buckhead, which is more North Atlanta, and we lived in Midtown, which is more downtown Atlanta. So now we're over here in East Atlanta. And we came here to East Atlanta because the home prices are really reasonably priced, and you're still about 5 to 10 minutes away from downtown Atlanta. And originally, we were looking at a house that we were going to buy. We looked at this house, and I said, well, before we buy a house over here, let's rent something to see if we really like this area, since neither one of us had ever lived in this end of South DeKalb County off Boulder Crest Road. The area is going through gentrification. You got a lot of whites moving in. You got home prices that range from $50,000 to $400,000. You got a lot of brand new homes being built, renovations, all kinds of good stuff in the housing market taking place over here. Restaurant, retail, still that stuff is still slowly coming. We live off Boulder Crest Road. Now I'm gonna tell you one thing they do have over here. On Boulder Crest Road, just the little 2 to 3 mile stretch that it takes for me to get to the house from the highway, depending which direction I come, they have over 15 different churches. 15. I've counted them. And if I continue continue east on Boulder Crest Road, there are even more churches. That's just on one street. Now, when you start hitting these side streets and main streets and all, have got to be at least over 100 churches, big and small, in this area, at least, if not more. All black churches. But we're in an area that's very poverty-stricken. A lot of poor blacks are still stuck over here. You still got a lot of housing projects or grandfathered in apartment complexes that accept Section 8. So you still got a lot of poverty over here. A lot of it. Even though the whites are moving in, renovating houses, you have a few black gays who have moved in and buying houses. A lot of white gays, black gays, a lot of straight white people. The vast majority of people living over here, though, are black, straight, heterosexuals. Poor. Poverty-stricken, children everywhere. But we got a church on every corner. A church, literally, there is a church on every corner on this end of South DeKalb County. They're everywhere. And people always say that the church has had a positive effect on our community, and I'm thinking, I don't agree with that. Before these white folks started moving into this area and fixing up these houses and live over here off Boulder Crest Road, no one ever thought about coming in this direction because it was so horrible. Such a disgusting area, such a rough part of DeKalb County. In fact, since we've lived here, 2 people have been shot and killed right here on Boulder Crest Road. One lady, she was the mother of 8 children, she was shot and killed, and another man was shot and killed. Literally, we've only been here about 8 months. Do we like the area? It's convenient. You can get in and out of here. There's not a lot of traffic over here, not like it was when we lived in Buckhead. You can get in and out of this neighborhood. I-20 can be congested in the morning time trying to get downtown, but other than that, it's not a bad over. It doesn't bother me that much. But when you see all these churches, and you drive through these neighborhoods, you see a church, church after church after, right across the street from each other, 3 and 4 of them clustered together. You see all these churches and you see all this poverty. You wonder why, what, in these churches, they're not the prettiest churches. A lot of these churches need some money, some landscaping, some flowers in the front yard, something. I've never understood how black churches refuse to invest in fixing up their places of worship. You all run in every Sunday, but you won't plant grass and flowers outside your church. It's kind of weird to me, kind of strange, kind of bad. But there are a ton of churches over here in this area, and this area has not benefited from those churches. A church to me is they take all the resources tax free, and they put nothing back into the community. Nothing. You got a church. I mean, you all really need to drive through here and see church after church after church, all black. And on Sundays, they're all packed. But what have they done for this community? What? And that's why, in my opinion, I don't think the church has been very good to African Americans as a whole. The school systems are terrible over here. Terrible. Horrible. Some of the worst schools in DeKalb County, right over here where we live at. I wouldn't even send these 2 dogs up to these schools. Why haven't the churches got involved to try to improve the educational system here, the public educational system? Do they care? Most likely not. Maybe I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out why we got a church on every corner over here, 2 and 3 of them, but so many black people are still living in poverty and despair over here. And they're not staying in the neighborhood, they're moving out of the neighborhood. So eventually, I think in 10 or 15 years, this end of South DeKalb County will be all white. It's inevitable because of the way the whites are moving here and spending huge amounts of cash to renovate and build homes. I'm seeing some spectacular renovations take shape. It's funny, you see a black family in the house. One day I drive by and then a few weeks later everything's tossed out on the street. Then a month or 2 later, construction companies doing these massive renovations. Then a month or 2, 3 after that, white folks move in. Very interesting. But I guess that's how it's going to happen all over America, from Harlem to Chicago to Washington, D.C., and then right here in Atlanta. We have given up our neighborhoods to white Americans, and then because we're too busy sitting up in church instead of fixing up our homes and fixing up our neighborhoods and fixing up our churches. Something's kind of odd. No, I don't think the church has been a positive influence on black Americans, in my opinion. That's just how I feel. Anyway, let me know what you all think. Do you think the black church has been a positive influence on black neighborhoods, or has it just been a drain on the resources? It could be used for something else. Anyway, if you like my videos, please click like and give me your opinion about I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about black churches in black African American neighborhoods. And are they positive or negative? And why so many of them? Anyway, I'm out. You guys have a great Wednesday. Enjoy your day.